More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
We welcome you to Hoover, Alabama for the semifinals of the Gulf South Conference Spring Championship Series. Second semifinal, you'll see the number 1 seed in Pool B, the Falcons of Montevallo, and the number 2 seed in Pool A, Mississippi College, with a date in Thursday's Gulf South Conference Spring Championship Series final on the line, alongside former University of Alabama head coach Judy Green. Hello, I'm Noah Frary. Judy, today we'll get to see one of the best serving teams in the Gulf South Conference versus the top attacking team. For Montevallo, it's been the play of Evelina Tehran and Amanda Nugent that have propelled this Falcons team to a spotless 11-0 record.
I think this is the match of the day. Mississippi College is a tremendous serving team. They're well balanced. They have probably the best middle attack of the 4 teams in the conference. And, Montevallo, on the other hand, spotless. Haven't lost a match, and really driven by the 2 outside hitters for sure, who as a combination are the best total package in the GSC this year.
And for Mississippi College, it all starts with junior setter Lexi Laurendine, who has been the difference maker this season for the Choctaws.
Talking with Coach Laurendine, it's special when you get to coach your own kid. It's probably hard too to coach your own kid, but Lexi is a true competitor. She is wired just right as a competitive athlete. She's a great leader on and off the floor, and she's not afraid to hold her teammates accountable, and she wants to win, and you can tell that by how she plays the game.
Coach, some special storylines for you personally in this game. Former head coach of Montevallo back in the 90s, and your star player is now the coach of Mississippi College, Shauna Laurendine, and then, ultimately being at Montevallo. So a lot of emotions here for you today watching one of your former players.
Shauna was a special player. She came from little bitty high school, 1A school out of the panhandle of Florida, and became a 2-time first-team All-American middle blocker, and was just a tremendous athlete and also a great competitor. So Lexi gets it honest. And as a coach, when you start your professional career, you want to start it at a really good place. And I was so fortunate to be given the opportunity to go to the University of Montevallo, and Leon Davis hired me and took a chance on a 24-year kid who had no head coaching experience. And
I think it paid off in a big way.
It was fun. It was the best 10 years of my life. I met some of my very best friends there, and the people at Montevallo were just second to none, and they were great mentors to me as I started my career.
We're going to take a quick break now with the team starting to make their way to the court. We'll be back to talk further about this contest.
53 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
In Birmingham, cultural roots run deep and strong. In Birmingham, we honor our singular history and embrace the vigor of progress. We are the dinner table of the South, where gathering is as important as culinary art. In Birmingham, we are big city dazzle with deep South charm. Come find your kind of getaway in Birmingham.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
Kevin, meet your father.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Trusted advice for life.
Kevin, how's your mom?
Thank you.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
In Birmingham, cultural roots run deep and strong. In Birmingham, we honor our singular history and embrace the vigor of progress. We are the dinner table of the South, where gathering is as important as culinary art. In Birmingham, we are big city dazzle with deep South charm. Come find your kind of getaway in Birmingham.
53 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
Welcome back inside the Finley Center as starting lineups are being read off. We're going to take this opportunity to look at how we got here so far. It's been a great tournament. The game started at neutral sites and ultimately went to campus sites, and that's how we got the 4 teams that are participating here in the finals. It was Alabama-Huntsville knocking off West Georgia, Auburn-Montgomery knocking off the Cinderella Valdosta State, who knocked off Union in the first round, Mississippi College advancing over Lee, Montevallo over Shorter, and then just in the first game earlier today, Auburn-Montgomery winning that game. Judy, that was a great contest, and I felt like Auburn-Montgomery really gave Alabama-Huntsville all they could handle today.
They did, and, you and I have talked that, any of the 4 teams are capable of getting hot and winning the championship series, and I think this is going to be just as good, if not an even better match than the first semifinal today.
Definitely going to be a fun one. It's the 7-1 at Mississippi College Choctaws versus the undefeated University of Montevallo Falcons, sitting at 11-0 on the season. They're coached by Katie O'Brien, who played her college ball at the University of Iowa. A very talented player back in her day. Really 2 very talented head coaches during their college's career.
Yeah, it's a storyline. This is a great story. A former All-American playing her alma mater, and a woman when Katie came to take over the Montevallo program, which was such a storied, successful program, took great pride in being the coach at Montevallo and has worked so hard and tirelessly to recruit, and her program now is at its highest heights.
Going to be a fun one here. Alabama-Huntsville has already advanced to tomorrow's final. That game will be at 1 p.m. here in the Finley Center, again on the Gulf South Conference YouTube channel. But getting set for semifinal number 2. 2 very talented teams, 2 very different teams. Montevallo, one of the best attacking squads in this entire conference. It's Evelina Tehran and Amanda Nugent up front, and then the service team for Mississippi College is incredibly strong. So this should be a very fun matchup.
Well, we're, talking to Coach Lauren Dean the other day, she said, immediately the very first thing was to try to establish their middle attack as early as they could. And, to be able to do that, you got to control the first contact and put the ball inside the 10-foot line so your setters can actually dish the ball to the middle.
Mississippi College, they'll be in a 5-1. Montevallo in that 6-2 rotation. They go quickly, and Amanda Nugent picks up the first kill. That's one way to start, Judy.
Well, we all know what we're expecting from these 2 outsides for the Falcons, and that was a pretty affirming first swing by Nugent.
Another kill for Amanda Nugent. She's got 2 here early on.
And, you know, one of the probably the most underrated and not talked about players for Montevallo is their libero, Casey Hendrickson, who Katie said that, you know, probably in the fall had they played, probably would not have gotten into that starting libero spot. But over the course of their development and practice, she's now taken over that role.
You don't see a lot of true freshmen in that libero role.
You don't. And, you know, she says she's just calm and said she has great reading skills of the game.
I remember in that conversation, too, she says she loves to have it hit hard at her.
The harder the better, I think is what Katie said.
Nugent gets underneath that one. A good set there by Hendrickson, but Tehran missing the sideline there. Good serve there by number 5 for Mississippi College. It's Brandy Bundy with 4 hits, and that will give Montevallo the point. It'll send number 12, Isabella Fuel, the other setter in this rotation, back to the service line. Fuel has been the primary setter for most of this season, with Savannah Roy's dealing with an injury, but Roy's now back, and if the rich can get richer, Judy, they did.
Most definitely, and that's one of the things that Coach O'Brien talked about in terms of their defense. They were really going to have to defend the setter dump because Lexi Laurendine is a threat from the back row and the front row, and she likes to do that little set dump over the net, and we just saw that.
Good set outside, that time by Roy's, but the swing by Tehran sails past the end line. 4-3 in favor of Montevallo. That'll send Aaron Davis back to serve, the libero for this Mississippi College team.
I would imagine that Mississippi College is definitely going to want to try to serve both Nugent and Tehran as much as they can throughout the match.
Laurendine rolls that one over, and it goes past the end line. 5-3 in favor of Montevallo now. They've gotten off to a good start. Judy, you've seen early on in these moments, they've really just been trying to feed Tehran and Nugent, and both of them are having some early success.
Well, and I think that if there's one disadvantage or mismatch in the match, it's Mississippi College's blocking overall compared to, the attacking from Montevallo.
A big kill and a big swing there in the middle by Sloan Fitzhenry. And Judy, you talked pregame about these young middles for this Mississippi College team, and a good start by Fitzhenry with that big swing.
Well, it looks like that, Mississippi College is trying to run a fairly fast middle attack, almost a true first tempo attack where the middles have jumped and the setter's putting the ball out in front of them to attack. And that's really hard when you're trying to block. You've got to have pretty fast feet and fast hands to get over the net.
Back set by Fuel, and it was Tehran who hammered it down. Laurendine tries to cut one, but it goes into the net. Good hard serve, and another great swing in the middle by Fitzhenry.
Well, so far, Mississippi College has been able to get their middles a first swing in serve-receive, and I think that is a big key for them.
Fitzhenry coming off perhaps her best game of the season, had 12 kills against Lee University to advance her team. That game happening on the 27th. Kept alive by Hendrickson, big swing out of the back. Leonard sets that up, and she gets called for the double, something we saw get called a lot in that first game today.
Yeah, first ball handling error by the setter for either team, and looked like she just didn't get her feet kind of set underneath herself a little bit.
Dug out in the back by Davis. The attack by Boros. And that one will just miss that sideline on the far side from us. A good set by Leonard. Burrows just didn't look like she was able to fully get her body in the right position on that play. Down the line there. That time by Jillian Morgan misses. 9-6 in favor of Montevallo. And that sends Fitzhenry back to serve. Kept alive, free ball coming. Quick set outside. Here's Nugent, not able to get the regular power on that one. And a great play right there by Lexi Laurendine to roll that over the block and find the opening.
Well, and Fitzhenry ended up getting the assist that time because the setter had to dig the first ball, and wow, what a pretty set of hands she had.
It was funny in that conversation with her mom the other day. We're talking about her playing career, and she said, I always wanted a left-handed daughter. I always wanted a daughter that can set. And she said from the moment I could put a ball in her hands, I put it in her left hand and turned her into a lefty.
That she did. I can attest to that because I can remember the day that Lexi Laurendine was actually born.
Leonard set near the net, hammered into the Montevallo block. And Mississippi College will pick up a kill right there.
I believe that was Nesbitt that got that front slide to go down between the two blockers in the net.
Good strong serve. That ball tipped across by Macy Martin, and she'll get the kill. You have to mention it with the big two outside pins. You have to respect those, and so that opening in the center of the court may be there consistently.
It very well could be.
That time, Lexi Richards off the block, and Mississippi College hanging around. They've done a good job against this talented Montevallo team here early on in set number one.
Looks like that Montevallo is just a little bit more ready to take some big risks with some big swings. Mississippi College, other than the middles, really haven't hit the ball very hard from the pins.
Good dig out by Bundy. Kept alive somehow over the net on the Montevallo side. Here's Tehran, and she hammers it down. Amanda Nugent, Evelina Tehran, two of the best outside hitters in this conference. Laurendine, cross-court set, and she's going to find an open Kendall Platt, who hammers it down. Platt this season, she's had 12 or more kills in 4 of the 8 games. Erin Davis, the libero, she's from Minnesota. She's back serving. Good dig out, Laurendine. Here's another swing by Platt. And Tehran, they will call a touch. Evelina Tehran will pick up yet another kill.
That was a very aggressive out-of-system swing by Tehran. I know Coach O'Brien was thrilled to see that because she actually talked about making the second contact better.
Fitzhenry, another set. What a play by Hendrickson. Kept alive again by Schramm, excuse me. A good rally right there from both of these teams early on. 13-11 here in set number one. It's Levi Leonard back to serve for Mississippi College. Dugout, quick set in the middle. Nugent rolled it over. Block by Fitzhenry. It was also Kendall Platt who got a hand on that one.
You could really see Fitzhenry that time reach her right hand over the net to get that ball.
Leonard tries to slice one. The rollover will find the floor by Evelina Turan. She can do it both ways. You're used to seeing her hit it hard, but right there, a very heady play by the senior.
Really super shot to change pace and find a way to score.
This Montevallo team, a very talented team on the court, but it's off the court academically that this team is one of the best teams in the Gulf South Conference, Judy. And, you know, in reading your bio from your Alabama days, one of the things that struck me was stepping in and building a program and making sure that academics were also a part of it. And it looks like that tradition has carried on at Montevallo. And prior to this game, we saw Macy Lowry get named the top academic player in the Gulf South Conference, having the highest GPA with those who have more than 48 credit hours.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, it is student athlete. And, you know, a lot of times that gets lost in translation. But, you know, all of these competitors work so hard in the classroom and spend countless hours with tutors and in their academic centers just to be able to keep up with their work, you know, with the travel. And this year, a lot of these kids have probably been virtual at times, you know, to do it. So kudos to all of them.
I would agree. And, you know, honestly, I do UWF baseball, some softball, and I've seen a lot more players who this previous year picked up that academic honor roll, you know, nomination after, you know, what was a very challenging year on the field and really buckling down in the classroom despite probably a different learning environment like you just mentioned.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, you really had to take more ownership, I think, of your grades and your schoolwork. And we've seen it even at the high school level that, you know, some students have been prepared for that and others have really had to learn and grow through that.
I took a lot of online courses in college, and I can tell you it is not easy. So these athletes had to work really hard.
Yeah, I'm not so sure, Noah, that I could have done it.
Set here in the middle. That was Dishman who set it up. Lauren Dean off the block, and she'll pick up the kill.
That was a great wrist-away shot off the block by Alexi.
I may have misspoke earlier. I said that Mississippi College was in a 5-1. They're in a 6-2. You'll see Lauren Dean and Leonard both in. Lauren Dean, when she's on that front row, she'll hit. She plays all the way around and is such a talented player for her mom and Mississippi College.
For sure. You know, it's funny because Coach Lauren Dean hardly ever talks about her own daughter. You know, but I know she knows her value to her team. She knows that.
It's definitely a fine line as a coach who coaches a child, you know, not wanting to talk too much about them, but also still wanting to make sure that they feel loved out on the court and recognized. Definitely a tough tightrope that head coach Shauna Lauren Dean has to walk.
For sure. And, you know, you're probably always harder on your own child than you are on, you know, other players that you have in your program. But Lexi's a really tough kid, and she's just a tremendous competitor. So she can take anything I'm sure her mom brings.
Lauren Dean, she was named to that second team in the All-Gulf South Conference last season. She was just the first player since 2010 for Mississippi College to be honored with that award. So she has had a phenomenal career at Mississippi College alongside her mother. That one will not get over the net. Mississippi College keeping it within 2 right now, but getting close to that also important 20, Judy, that you mentioned in the first game today. Teams who get over that, about 85% of the time they win the set.
Yeah, true, very true. And Stevie Nesbitt just continues to chip away and find ways to score out of the middle for the Choctaws.
18-16, and with Mississippi College on a run. A little showmanship out there, a little gamesmanship, as there was some sweat on the floor that just had to be wiped up. (18-16) the score here in set number 1. It's Brandy Bundy back to serve. And the block. Judy, I'm starting to think you didn't do their block justice in the pregame.
Well, I think that, I think Montevallo is going to try to, give a few more balls to a few other players, but when they come right back to it, that ball's going right back outside again.
Royce sets it up outside and another block. The one thing we talk about how good the two pins are for Montevallo, but that does allow opposing defenses to key in on them, and then it forces some of the other players to step up.
It does, most definitely, and you can live and die by your bread and butter, but at some point in time you're going to have somebody else is going to have to step in there and start to create some offensive points for you.
A big swing right there for the kill.
It's hard to tell from this advantage, but it looks like against Tehran and Nugent that Mississippi College is trying to block line and make them hit the ball back cross court.
Which plays in well with that talented back line in Bundy and Davis. Force the big hitters to go at your libero and defensive specialist.
Most definitely.
We will have a timeout on the floor. We'll take a quick breather with the score 20-18 here late in set number 1.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
Back inside the Finley Center, it'll be Allie Dishman back to serve for Montevallo. They lead by 2, 20-18. They're the first team to 20. We'll see if we get the 85% or the 15% here in set number 1. Platt sent it across hard. Lauren Dean. That was a great set right there. Good attack out of the middle.
There's a super, that's what you call a 31 that's kind of set into the 3 gap, which is kind of between right front and the middle blocker. There's a space that's there, and the middle just kind of runs into that empty space. That was a super set. We didn't see any of those in the first match today.
They do have some young pieces, Mississippi College, but ultimately there's some, I'll call them elderly, but players who've been playing upperclassmen on this Mississippi College team, and so you see some more of that, I think. It'll be Isabella Fuel back into the contest. She's third on this team in service aces with 12 this season. Her and Savannah Royce forming a very talented duo at the setter position, but it's been Fuel who for most of this season has had to be the primary setter.
That's right. I think, due to injury, and I know Montevallo was glad to get Royce back, and Isabella Fuel is also a product of Huntsville High School, where Sabrina Duncan, who set for UAH earlier today, was also a setter at Huntsville High School, where Coach Melanie Donahue does a great job with her program.
Coach, how difficult is it to kind of switch formations here late in the season, because you had to play, more with just about one setter for most of the year, and then now to bring 2 in here late?
It's all about developing relationships, and if Royce was able to even practice, to create some of those relationships, in a 6-2 offense, you got to find which setter works the best with each outside and each middle.
We're going to stay right here, 21-21. Judy, all tied up here late. Mississippi College is playing very well against the undefeated Falcons.
Well, they've blocked very well. That's something that I've been impressed with so far, and But the thing that is their strength coming into the tournament was producing points off serve, okay, like service aces. They've not really been able to secure very many aces, if they even have one yet. I'm not even sure if they do. But their block and backcourt defense has been outstanding.
And especially, you alluded to the lib early on in this game, Casey Hendrickson in the back. She's done a good job at controlling that defense and hasn't given Mississippi College many openings on that serve game.
Yeah, very, very true, very true. And the two outsides have passed well for Montevallo, and I can tell by watching where Coach Lauren Dean is telling her servers to serve to that they want to go after Nugent and Tehran here and make them have to do a lot of work before they take a swing at the ball.
It's Levi Leonard back to serve. Her team tied up at 21 apiece here late in the first set. Mississippi College, they have to love the spot that they're in right now. Here's Leonard's serve. Hard off the hands of Nugent, and that one tipped across, and Mississippi College will take a lead.
And again, that's, they're trying to take advantage of the front row outside hitter and Tehran, and I think Tehran wants it to come back to her.
And those will kill a strong service team, but Leonard into the net. You've got to win a set by 2 points in the game of volleyball. The score tied at 22 apiece. Each one of these points matters here towards the end of the set. It's Tehran back to serve. Dug out on the backside by Bundy. Attacked by Lauren Dean. Nugent now across the net. Back set, Leonard looking for Lauren Dean, and she'll roll one over. What a smart play there by Lexi Laurendine.
That was a super roll shot, right in front of the right front defender who wasn't expecting the ball.
She gives a different look on that side, too, as a left-hander, and, trying to get those balls around the block.
Well, she sells it pretty good. She looks like she's going to take a big rip at it, and then all of a sudden she just drops it over nice and easy.
Good dig out by Hendrickson. Nugent gets it over the second time, and that one will just miss. Back and forth they go here in set number one. The score tied up at 23. Casey Hendrickson now back to serve. She's second on this team with 14 service aces. Nearly got one right there, and we'll get a net call. Set point here with the freshman Hendrickson serving. And with that, we will get a timeout. 24-23 here late in set number one. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back for the end of the first set here in the Finley Center.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
It's Hendrickson back serving for the first set. Can Mississippi College stave off a set point here late? A lot of pressure on the freshman. A first set victory for either of these teams would go a long way. And that one off the libero, and Montevallo will survive quite the test here in set number one, Judy.
Yeah, two service aces to close out the set, and certainly something that can be corrected by Mississippi College. Wasn't that tough of a serve, but sometimes the nerves get the best of you, when you're in that situation. So hopefully they'll be able to regroup and get back at it. But what a terrific set, just exactly what we expected to see.
25-23 the score in set number one. We're going to throw it back for a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back just in time for set number two.
get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
In Birmingham, cultural roots run deep and strong. In Birmingham, we honor our singular history and embrace the vigor of progress. We are the dinner table of the South, where gathering is as important as culinary art. In Birmingham, we are big city dazzle with deep South charm. Come find your kind of getaway in Birmingham.
Kevin, meet your father.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Trusted advice for life.
Kevin, how's your mom?
Thank you.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
53 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference. '53 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
Second set about to get underway here in the Finley Center. It was a back and forth first set, a really great first set if you're a volleyball fan. It was Lexi Laurendine who led the way in kills for Mississippi College, and it was Allie Dishman and Evelina Turan who had 4 for Montevallo. We'll see what set number 2 has in store for us. It'll be Montevallo who will serve first. They send the setter, Savannah Royce, back, who sends it across. Laurendine setting up Boros, and Mississippi College will get an early lead. Lexi Laurendine back to serve. Nugent got her hands on it. In that first set, Judy, I believe the storyline was really the block of Mississippi College. They had 4 total blocks in that set, which was they had 5 total blocks, which was 5 more than Montevallo.
Well, way above their season average, and Coach Laurendine's got to be happy about that. To be able to contain Nugent and Turan, they're going to have to get 4 hands up there.
Their season average just over 1 in blocks per set, and they had themselves a great first set.
Boros with a great swing that time. She really went after the right front blocker. I mean, she went after her.
That'll send Brandy Bundy back to serve. Bundy serving for the second time here today. Dugout, Nugent. Swing coming on that far side, and it's Macy Martin who rolls it over the block and picks up the kill for Montevallo. 2-2 the score here in set number 2. One goes off Davis. Mississippi College unable to keep it alive. Aaron Davis, normally very sure-handed back there, 11 digs in 8 games this season. She's had 20 digs in 3 or more games. Lauren Dean, quick set in the middle. That was Nesbitt.
I like that confidence the libero came back with and got her platform out there early and got the ball up to the net. And, you know, that's the bread and butter of Mississippi College right there. Impressive play, though, by the freshman Stevie Nesbitt. That's a timing play, Judy, with you and the setter, and that's something that, especially with how few of games they've played this year, that's very impressive. It is, very much so. And, you know, I know that when they were together in the fall, of course, they trained and they were able to do some things, but I think Mississippi College was one of the last schools that even permitted their teams to even return to practice. Good serve by Davis, and a big swing in the middle by Hoffman, and she'll pick up the kill. Hoffman picking up just her second kill of the match. And Mississippi College tied up at 4 apiece. And with that, that sends Isabella Fuel back to serve. Set by Lauren Dean, sent across by Richards. And Tehran tooling the block right there. Mississippi College has not been as effective with the block here in the second set. I really like the length of Tehran. You know, she's got really long arms and she's able to play at a little bit higher level. Fuel set close to the net. Tehran hammers it down. You mentioned the look of Tehran, and, you know, I got a chance back in November to watch some Division I volleyball, and I think in my mind she looks like a Division I volleyball player. She certainly has the length, you know, to go with it, and, you know, I really love the fact she's a 6-rotation player, and, you know, we're just not seeing that many 6-rotation players anymore in volleyball. There's too much specialization that's happening, and but it's good to see a player with that length and height play all the way around. Well, and Coach O'Brien mentioned in that conversation that we had that this season Tehran moving more to that right side hitter's role, which allows Nugent to be on at the same time as her and playing all the way around. And then the other thing she mentioned is those two seniors really being bought in and saying, I just want to play this year. And for both of them, even she said that she's caught them several times at practice, just soaking in the moments and really enjoying just the ability to play again. Absolutely. And, you know, I think that, you know, I think Katie and her staff have done a great job of, you know, maintaining, you know, safety with their student athletes and their well-being, and, you know, just to have the opportunity to even play in practice, you know, those kids are begging to do it. Substitution coming here. It'll be Nugent back in. It'll be Schramm who exits on the front row. That's set by Leonard awfully close to the net. And Leonard just lays down on the floor. I think the front row was so much focused on transitioning off the net, they forgot to just go play the ball. That's one way to do it. Tehran across. We mentioned Evelina Tehran and her hitting ability, but also a very strong server. Well, right now, Montevallo seems to be kind of beating Mississippi College at their own game. They certainly are serving a little bit tougher, and Mississippi College is certainly not able to run their offense on the net as often as they would like. Mississippi College currently hitting .240 for the match. That's 60 percentage points higher than Montevallo. Montevallo hitting just a .179. So far 19 kills for Mississippi College, though 20 for Montevallo. Give Montevallo's defense a lot of credit, Judy. They've had 6 more
attacking plays, and so their defense creating opportunities for the offense.
Absolutely, and I think their attackers have made some very good decisions about, you know, sometimes just not going for the kill, but just kind of taking what you can get and trusting your defense that they can get it back up for you to get another shot.
Nugent down the line off Leonard's hand. They are so good at that quick set to the outside.
Yeah, it's definitely got really good pace to it.
Hendrickson, her serve is good. Fuel, a big swing back across the net. Joust.
Look at that save by Hendrickson.
A lot of credit to the freshman, and another one.
And another one.
I'm starting to see why she's starting as a freshman, Judy. Oh, what a play. Isabella Fuel cuts that one across court.
What an incredible play by both teams. But Hendrickson in that series was, wow, that was a wow factor.
Oh, they said that one went out. Hendrickson worked hard in that set. That one just missing that outside line. I thought it was called in. That one into the antenna, and Mississippi College will pick up the point. Evelina Tehran now leading everyone with 6 kills. It's Kendall Platt and Lexi Laurendine with 4 kills apiece for Mississippi College. Mississippi College in this game so far, Judy, has done a great job at kind of spreading out the offense. You see 3 or 4 players with 3 or more kills. Make it 5 now.
Yeah, I thought they really started out, pretty early trying to get the ball to their middles, but their serve receive hasn't been good enough to do that. They've done it more almost in transition than they have in serve receive.
Which was not what we expected out of this team, a very talented serve receive team.
For sure.
Leonard outside to Laurendine. She'll get the friendly roll off the tape. (11-9) here in the second set. That brings back in Lexi Richards as Leonard exits and sends Lexi Laurendine back to serve. Martin, a big strong swing. It's going to be kept alive by Laurendine.
That's another solo block by Mississippi College, and they must have put some time into working on blocking.
Richard tried to cut that one across court and just missed that sideline.
It looked like Montevallo was actually called for a net violation on that one, so point is going to go to Mississippi College.
I need to do a better job at watching the official in the chair. Nugent across court. And they said that one went in.
And I think we have another under the net violation, it looks like, by Montevallo here. I think Mississippi College is going to get this point. The R2 on the floor is saying the attacker was underneath the net before the ball landed on the other side.
We'll see it again right here. Here's the attack. Did she go under the net on that play? Looks like she did.
Yeah, she was in the net. You can see the net actually move.
Now, Judy, you're allowed to go under the net a little bit, right? As long as you don't, make contact with another player.
Yeah, you have to have some part of your foot in contact with the line. Like, it can be just the back of your heel, and as long as you're not impeding play, like if you're turning and running off the net, it's okay.
And the goal of that's just to protect the defensive player, right?
Yes, it's a safety factor for sure.
Laurendine back serving that left-handed serve so deadly as she picks up the ace.
Well, I feel like this is the first time we've seen some aggressive serving from Mississippi College. They've been pretty conservative up to this point.
That ace will send us to a break. It's Mississippi College leading this one 13-11 midway through the second set. We'll take a break here from Hoover, Alabama, and we'll be back with the conclusion of the second.
Can I get some help?
So happy. Oh.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
53 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
In Birmingham, cultural roots run deep and strong. In Birmingham, we honor our singular history and embrace the vigor of progress. We are the dinner table of the South, where gathering is as important as culinary art.
Lexi Laurendine took us to break with an ace. Can she do it again? Another strong serve as Mississippi College getting more and more aggressive behind the service line.
Yeah, and I can still see those signals from Coach Laurendine. They're really trying to isolate Nugent right here in the seam between her and Tehran.
Laurendine, another ace. She's got two. Laurendine, she's the best server in this Gulf South Conference. She leads the entire conference in aces. She's also first on this team. I guess that would make some sense. And she's starting to pepper the back row for Montevallo. It was Richards who kept it alive. A frustration swing perhaps right there. It looked like that was Nugent.
I think she just got a little bit too excited. It kind of came back super quick to her, and she just took a big whack.
Mississippi College out to a big lead. They lead by 5. Laurendine kept it alive. This ball's going both ways right now. Blocked. It's Richards. And the Mississippi College girls are loving it. Richards and Nesbitt teaming up front.
Super. They're really trying to take away the line from Nugent.
Laurendine, another strong serve. And a free ball coming. And that was Richards who hammered it off the block. We talked at length about how good this service game was for Mississippi College, and it is showing up here late in set number 2. Not to be understated, though, Judy, it looks like the block is starting to come back here late in the second set.
For sure. The middles are working really hard to close the blocks right now, and it's easier to do when Montevallo's setter is having to set the ball from behind the 10-foot line.
Nugent back to serve. She floats one in deep. It goes off the hands of Laurendine. We'll have a free ball. And Tehran does what she does best and hammers one down to the hardwood.
It's a great free ball pass by Hendrickson. Mississippi College's middle jumped with Montevallo's middle, and it kind of left Richards out there one-on-one with Tehran.
It looked like Boros mistimed that hit, and Mississippi College will be called for the 4 hits on their side of the net. 18-14 here as Nugent back to serve yet again. Judy, she's really far behind that service line.
She really is. I mean, you got to track that ball for a really long time.
And that was something head coach Katie O'Brien talked about that she's been working with. And you told me you've played games in this court, and you said sometimes the air conditioning can play with that ball and make it difficult on the back line.
There's no doubt about it. You know, when you serve a float serve where the ball's not moving, and, you know, the air currents in the building will certainly play with it.
Brandy Bundy back to serve. That one off the hands of Hendrickson. She's frustrated with herself. Laurendine setting up Richards. Tehran. And that one into the antenna called by the down. Looked like Tehran had picked up a big kill, but it ticked the antenna on the way by. You can see it move on this swing right here. Great call there by the official. Bundy, a good serve. Attack by Martin, and that one won't get over the net. 21-14 now in favor of the Choctaws.
You know, Montevallo's not been in this position very often this year, so it'll be really interesting to see how they handle it.
They've lost just 2 sets in their last 5 games. Mississippi College trying to hand them a set loss right here. 21-15. That'll send Allie Dishman back to serve. Dishman, she was the Times Georgian All-Area MVP in 2019 in high school back in Georgia. She was a 3-sport athlete, played basketball, track, and volleyball. If I had to bet, she was a high jumper. She has those lengthy legs that oftentimes you see out of high jumpers.
She does.
I'll have to ask her about that. I'm curious now. It's Aaron Davis back to serve. Good set in the middle by Royce. And a kill. Looked like that was Tehran. Isabella Fuel back in now. She's third on this team with 12 service aces from back behind the service line. They get the overpass, and they will get the kill. Didn't pick up the ace, but effective nonetheless.
I think we're going to get a timeout here by Mississippi College. Still maintaining that 4-point lead. It almost looks like their passers are just a little bit jittery, like they're just a little too tense in serve receive at the moment.
Mississippi College, a timeout. We'll stay right here. They lead by 4. Judy, you've been in your fair share of these timeouts. You call them, and what are these timeouts like as a coach?
Well, when you call the timeout, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to set up a play in serve receive where you can side out, earn the point, and get back there and serve again. And really you're trying to play percentages at that point. You know, do you want to isolate your best hitter on the weakest blocker, or do you want to go to the hottest player that you have right now regardless of where she is? So I'm sure they're talking about that and maybe talking about a little body positioning on how they're receiving serve right now. It almost looks like they're a little too deep to me, and they're really having to reach out and stab too far in front to get the ball.
Sometimes, too, those timeouts also just a breather, especially with a good run right there. Not only does it break the momentum of the team that's on a roll, but it also gives you the ability to catch your breath.
Well, and also the least amount of information you can give them, the better. You know, just kind of that keep it simple
the keep
mentality.
It simple, stupid method.
That's exactly right.
That's how I live my life. 22-18. A good strong serve, Lauren Dean. And there you go. That's the play they drew up to Richards as she gets the kill.
Well, and all that was made possible by the pass, you know, and much better ball control on the first contact. And Mississippi College now is 2 points away from stealing set number 2.
I alluded to it in the first game today. I'm a big baseball fan, and they say defense and pitching wins championships. In the game of volleyball, it's passing and serving.
It is passing and serving, and you know, it never fails. You know, we've talked about it even from the highest levels. You know, the team that serves and passes the best is the one who wins the majority of the matches.
Lauren Dean, her hit called out. She was looking for a tip but didn't get it called. It's Tehran back behind the service line. Her team trailing by 4. Can they get back in this one? Leonard into the block. A big swing there by Kendall Platt. Nugent just had to roll one over the block. Good setup by Hendrickson.
I really like the fact that Mississippi College out of system has been trying to challenge the setting position quite a bit and making Montevallo setters play defense.
Davis sets up Lauren Dean, and that one will just miss. especially, with the freshman Liv back there, challenging her, forcing her to kind of play out of position a little bit. Not a bad strategy.
For sure.
Tehran still serving. Good dig on the back by Bundy. Lauren Dean wins the joust at the net. Gonna get a free ball. Bundy, strong pass. Here's Leonard, quick in the middle. Self-preservation type play by Bundy. Lauren Dean rolling one over now.
And I'd really like to see Lauren Dean take a rip at that ball.
Platt will. She keeps it alive. What a rally.
It's like ping pong, Noah.
And Nugent wins the battle as that one goes off the hands of Aaron Davis. Judy, I was actually, during that, you mentioned ping pong. I was thinking of the old video game way back in the day, Pong.
Pong, yes. Great game.
You were probably around when that game came out,
I
huh?
sure was around when that game came out. And I believe playing that in my own house. That was at least one I was good at.
I used to play video games. I don't get to do it too much anymore.
Yeah. I try not to spend my time in front of a screen too much.
Nugent keeps Montevallo alive, 23-22. Wow, we have gotten to watch a great volleyball contest here. We'll have a timeout on the floor. We're going to take a quick breather. Score 23-22, timeout on the floor.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
In Birmingham, cultural roots run deep and strong. In Birmingham, we honor our singular history and embrace the vigor of progress. We are the dinner table of the South, where gathering is as important as culinary art. In Birmingham, we are big city dazzle with deep South charm. Come find your kind of getaway in Birmingham.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
53 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.
Kevin, meet your father.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin. Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Trusted advice for life.
Kevin, how's your mom?
Thank you.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor
The
can
University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
In Birmingham, cultural roots run deep and strong. In Birmingham, we honor our singular history and embrace the vigor of progress. We are the dinner table of the South, where gathering is as important as culinary art. In Birmingham, we are big city dazzle with deep South charm. Come find your kind of getaway in Birmingham.
Judy, we've had a treat today so far. Two really good first couple sets in this match.
We knew it. We called it.
You called it.
We said at the very beginning that this was going to be probably the most, thoroughly competitive match. And, both of these teams are similar in some ways, and then they are so starkly different in other ways.
I think what's been interesting, though, is both of these teams, neither of them hitting very well. And a player like Amanda Nugent only hitting .028 right now. Her season average is close to 300.
Well, and Jamie Boros is hitting, negative 6%. And, it's from an attacking perspective, it's not a very pretty match. But I feel like Mississippi College has really now decided that they're going to actually serve the ball with some pace to it. And in doing so, they've actually forced Montevallo into some really bad decisions.
Nugent sent one back across the net. Here's a big swing. That one sent across by Jamie Burrows and called out. I think Burrows was thinking there was a tip. I actually thought it was in, but might have just sailed long. Here's Burrows, a big swing right there. Judy, I know you keep in touch with Coach Laurendine quite a bit, and you've mentioned kind of the up and down season so far that Jamie Burrows has had and trying to find something here in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's just been, you know, when she's on, and when she's not been on, you know, she's really struggled. And, you know, again, I think both of these teams right now, you know, maybe with the exception of the Mississippi College match against Alabama Huntsville, they're playing the best competition that they've seen so far this year. And so sometimes when that happens, you start to see percentages and stuff go down because the level of your opponent is just better.
Lexi Richards picks up the kill. She's up to 8, and Judy, she's hitting .538 right now, which is significantly above her season average.
Yeah, she is stellar at the moment. She's a rock in the lineup right now for the Choctaws, and you know, if they can get their two middles fired up and back into rhythm and her in rhythm, then they're going to be pretty tough to stop.
Richards, she won a 4A state championship back in Arkansas, and in games like this, those types of things matter.
They do, and, you know, I think coaches look to recruit players that, you know how to win at a high level, and they just have that determination to want to win at a high level.
It's Richards again who tools the block. 9 kills now for Lexi Richards. A good back set right there by Laurendine. And Richards send it hard off the block, off the arm of Tehran. You mentioned at the end of that second set wanting to see Mississippi College take some bigger swings, and they've come out swinging here in the third set.
They have, and, you know, I feel like that they're still improving on serving the outside hitters from Montevallo and making them have to pass and work before they can get outside to just stand and go and hit. And Nugent and Tehran, they're kind of struggling a little bit to pass.
Bundy up. Fuels sets up Hoffman for the kill. Hoffman, she's got 6 kills now in the match. Evelina Tehran leading Montevallo with 8, but it's Hoffman who's got 5. Allie Dishman with 7. That ball sails out, and Montevallo will stretch their advantage to 2. We haven't seen any set that hasn't been close so far yet. 25-23 in the first set, 25-22 in the second. Another unforced error by Mississippi College, and it might be a good time here to call timeout. Coach Laurendine going to stick with her players. Good attack there by Platt. Back outside, Tehran, and she'll get the kill. Evelina Tehran now gets another kill. She's up to 9. She ties Lexi Richards for the top, and I said we could have got a timeout 1 point ago, and we get it here. Timeout on the floor, 8-4 in favor of Montevallo as we take a breather.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
Back here inside the Finley Center, it's Montevallo back to serve. They lead by 4. Isabella Fuel serving. Hendrickson laying out on that dig. Richards going to pick up the kill on that big swing on the outside.
Thought that series for Montevallo, they served and played very good defense.
Good job there by the pin, Lexi Richards, to pick up the kill. She's got 10 kills now in this match. She currently leads all players with those 10 kills. Jillian Morgan, who just came in for the first time, rolled that one across.
Good. Lauren Dean used the block there, and the blocked the ball into the antenna.
They're asking if that was into the antenna. I didn't see. I know that was something you just asked. Let's look at the replay again. Doesn't look like it. I don't know, Judy. I can't tell if that hit the antenna or hit the tape.
It's hard to tell because the R1 is in the middle of the screen.
If anything, it looked like maybe on that block, it may have hit that antenna. A tough call right there. The R2 having a discussion.
I don't think the block touched it.
They did change the call on the court, and that will give Montevallo a point right here. They lead 9-5. Good job, good work there by the replay official to give us some good angles of that one. Fuel setting up Morgan yet again. Big swing in the middle by Hoffman, blocked back on the other side.
She's really playing well right now. She's really worked very hard in transition to be an option.
It's Turan back to serve. Fitzhenry just had to fight that off. We haven't mentioned her name much, Judy. She started off strong, but has kind of disappeared.
Yeah, she's been really quiet.
You mentioned prior to this game coming in with 2 younger, inexperienced middles, and Fitzhenry got off to that good start, but has kind of been lost in the scrum that has been this contest.
Yeah, it seems like that, you know, through the course of at least this set, that the outside hitters from Mississippi College have gotten a lot more opportunities to swing. And some of that is just straight up ball control.
Judy, if you're a coach, how do you, and right there, that's how you do it. That's the answer to my question, but how do you work to get your middles involved when they're not, you know, really playing well in a game?
Well, I think, number one, the middles have to try to create space between themselves and the setter. They can't always just run right to where the setter is. They've got to sometimes get away from her if the ball is passed off the net, and they just have to recognize really where the ball is passed to, and then they can kind of go and do what they need to do.
Hendrickson back to serve after that hit by Hoffman found the hardwood. It hit the tape first. That back pass was really tight into the net right there.
Mm-hmm. And again, not a very tough serve, I felt like, from Hendrickson, but it must have some pretty decent movement on it.
That was a tough serve. Leonard set it up, and Fitzhenry, after we've been talking about her, with a nice play.
And she must have heard us saying, hey, you know, we got to get you back involved here if Mississippi State's going to stand a chance.
It probably would mean more coming from you than it does from me. Set up by Fuel, and that one gonna miss long. Very close right there to a 2-hit opportunity on that set.
Yeah, for sure.
Nearly a double called. There's a little bit of movement on that ball after it came out of the hands of the setter Fuel. Nugent dug it out. Didn't get in a great position. Lauren Dean gonna roll one off the block, kept alive. And that was 4 hits on the Montevallo side.
Yeah, Mississippi College knew it. I think that's why they didn't go and try to pursue the ball.
You kind of saw Lauren Dean looking around like, I thought that was 4 on their side.
Yeah.
I guess, though, as a coach, you probably teach your players to play to the whistle in case something happens. Something has gotten into the middles after we started talking about them. Stevie Nesbitt with a big swing right there.
Well, that's overpass kill off of a great serve.
That's bread and butter type stuff.
It is bread and butter. And, you know, that tells you your middles and your blockers are alert and they're ready.
That's every middle blocker's dream, is that overpass. Good swing right there by Dishman as she picks up the kill. Allie Dishman now up to 8 kills in today's match.
I think for a coach, there's nothing more frustrating than getting a great serve that produces the overpass and your blockers not being ready to jump and just crush it.
It's kind of that you had one job, right? Nugent just rolls one over the net. It's Davis setting up Lauren Dean, a big swing by her. A lot of joust at the net right now. And we're gonna get a whistle. It looks like it'll be a net violation. It was. It'll hand Montevallo the point. I didn't see who they called that on.
I couldn't really tell who was in the net. I guess he called number 8 for being in the net.
Yeah, it must have been. That would have been Stevie Nesbitt.
Yeah.
And Montevallo back-to-back points now. (15-11) the score here in the third set. These two teams tied at 1 set apiece. That one into the top of the net, and it stayed on the Choctaws side, and it'll bring us to a timeout. We'll stay right here. 16-11 the score here in set number 3. Montevallo starting to put the hammer down here, Judy, and you're seeing a team that is a very talented team maybe start to find something here in the third set.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're doing a better job from the service line this time, and Mississippi College, again, a little out of rhythm. And, you know, again, at the end of the day, it really all comes back to how well you can pass the ball and serve it and eliminate errors when you play the game of volleyball.
Definitely something to pay attention to here late. Neither of these teams still hitting very well in today's matches. Just 163 for Mississippi College, 124 for Montevallo. It's Evelina Turan and Allie Dishman both leading with 9 kills for Montevallo. And it's Lexi Richards leading with 10 for Mississippi College. But we've seen some good defense in today's match. The block has been strong, and the back line, the defensive specialists and the liberos really working hard.
They are. I mean, Hendrickson is impressive. I've really been impressed with her level of play, and she covers well as a libero. She makes great set locations when she has to take the second ball, and she's just as calm as a cucumber.
That's a good one right there. Calm as a cucumber. I
calm
like that.
Calm as a cucumber. That's right. You know, Montevallo has such a rich tradition in volleyball. When I first moved to the state of Alabama, Montevallo was the volleyball school in the state of Alabama. Any great player in the state wanted to go play at the University of Montevallo.
When I remember reading your bio, I think it was 7 out of the 10 years that you guys were there that you were ranked inside the top 10 in the country at the NAIA level.
We were, and I was fortunate because I took over a program that Dr. Beverly Warren had established, and there were great players when I got there, and they were already a top 20 team in the country, and I felt like we just worked really, really hard to become one of the top 5 teams in the country fairly consistently. And the kids that came there, they wanted to win championships. I mean, a lot of them came from all over the country because of volleyball and fell in love with the school at the same time.
Well, you guys had some multiple lengthy winning streaks, which is very difficult to do in the game of volleyball.
One year, I can't remember if it was 1993, we went 42-0. And the team that I had, Shauna, Coach Laurendine was actually on that team, and we went to Mississippi State and we were down 0-2 and came back and won 3-2. We won a huge tournament in Chicago that year, beat our arch rival, the College of St. Francis, and 42-0 going into the national championships. And I thought, these kids had ice in their veins. I mean, they were just, nothing fazed them. And we got there and we got beat by 2 really good teams, better teams than we had faced all year long. But what a run. I mean, to win 42 matches in a row, that's hard to do.
Yeah, it's hard to especially continue to bring that intensity on a daily basis when you're winning that much.
It is, and we were, at that time, I mean, we were flying to Chicago to play volleyball, and, it wasn't like we were just sitting at home and, playing all of our home matches. And, but those kids were special kids, and they were tough kids, and they were just ultimate competitors.
Good rally going on right here. Arms and balls flying everywhere. Nesbitt kept it alive. Dumped off. Another diving play by Bundy. Mississippi College will take the point.
They needed that one right there, Noah. They needed that point.
Well, and I believe you alluded to it in the first game today, but the team who has the better hitters, the longer you get in that rally, advantage goes to them. So a great job by Mississippi College to pick up the point right there.
It does, and also, when you get later into the matches and stuff like that, it's also about the team that's in the best shape, the hitters that can sustain that transitioning over and over and over again.
Big swing by Tarand. It's one thing to be a great pin hitter, an outside hitter, but it's another thing when you're out of system to still be a great outside hitter.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the difference that you see with players like Evelina Tarand and Amanda Nugent. They're great out of system as well as in system.
For sure. And a lot of that, too, has to do with the fact that the liberos can actually deliver really good sets for them to take good swings.
Hendrickson, she's someone that we've talked about, but she's had 6 games this year with 15 or more digs back there, and they had been built up. She had been built up as a very talented freshman, and I think she has lived up to that billing here in today's game.
She has, and I still see Mississippi College is really still trying to make the front row outside hitter from Montevallo pass the first ball before they hit.
Fitzhenry setting up Laurendine, and she's unable to get it through the block as Montevallo first to 20 here in the third set. A big swing there by Laurendine, but that block in a really good position. The lefty Laurendine, another good swing, and she'll pick up the kill. It'll be kill number 9 for Lexi Laurendine.
That was a great out of system. She had to really get her feet prepared really quickly and hit the ball off the top of the blocker's hands.
That has to be difficult for those blockers to get a different look with that left-hander out there.
For sure. We got a decent crowd here this afternoon, Noah.
Yeah, I didn't think neither of us knew quite what to expect at these games in the middle of the afternoon, but yeah, good crowd out here, and they get to watch some great volleyball.
They do, and I'm proud of my high school kids sitting down there from Thompson High School. They came to support Michaela Toohey, who is one of our former players who's on the Mississippi College roster. They came to watch her and her team play, and I think there's about 13 or 14 of them sitting down there today.
Obviously, you spent a lot of years coaching at the college level, this being almost more of a little bit of a retirement job, but you're having a lot of fun, though, I'm sure, coaching high school, different type of volleyball.
People ask me that all the time. How different is it? And I'm like, really and truly, the only difference is that I don't have to recruit, and they go home to their parents at night. And that's really the only difference. But the volleyball is the volleyball. And I run my program just like I would a college program. And they've really bought into it, and we've really built something really special. We've got a great culture at Thompson.
Well, and you said, too, in talking the other day, you and Spain Park this coming year are probably going to be two of the more talented teams at that level in Alabama.
Well, I think we returned the best lineups from this past season. Both of us finished in the Final Four. Hoover won the Class 7A championship. They went 50-1 through the year. And then McGill-Tulane in the South is, also a really good volleyball program. So volleyball at its highest level here in the state is really good.
Leonard, that one rolled over by Boros. Leonard back sets. Here's Lauren Dean, and she'll pick up the kill. Levi Leonard has a really underrated back set. Does a great job at finding Lauren Dean on that opposite side.
I can see why Lexi Lauren Dean is, leads the conference too in hitting percentage. I mean, she just kind of chips away, hits a bunch of different shots.
A very talented player, and you mentioned to me that head coach Shauna Lauren Dean, her younger daughter, is a very talented volleyball player as well.
She is very talented, and she's going to be a highly recruited player in her class. And, she's a 6'2" outside hitter, and she's super fun to watch. And she is in love with volleyball. Sometimes I think she's more in love with it than Lexi, and that's really hard to believe.
Big swing right there by Jamie Boros. And they will call a touch on that play. We'll see it again right here. Here's the swing by Nugent. Mississippi College got it back. And then here's Boros. And it looked like may have been a touch there by Dishman.
A little bit. Without that net cam, it's really hard to see those fingertips move.
They call Nesbitt into the net. And that was set point. That will do it here in set number 3. A bit anticlimactic to end the third set, but Montevallo storming back to win the third set, putting themselves in the driver's seat as we head to the fourth set.
For sure, I think that, the level of play toward the end, there were a lot of long rallies, sustainable rallies that the ball kept going back and forth over the net. And Montevallo just seemed to have more patience in those situations and got a couple of those under their belt, and then just went on to win 25-20.
2-1 in favor of the Falcons as we head to the fourth set. We'll take a breather here in Hoover, Alabama. We'll be back with fourth set action.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more. The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
2-1 in favor of the Montevallo Falcons as we head to the fourth set. It's Evelina Turan and Allie Dishman tied with 11 kills apiece for Montevallo. It's Lexi Richards with 11 and Lexi Laurendine just behind her with 10. But neither of these teams hitting great in today's contest.
You know, if you'd told me when we started this match that we would be talking so much about Dishman and Hoffman from Montevallo and Richards and, you know, even Nesbitt for that matter, I would have said we would have been talking about other players producing points.
Almost on cue right there as Stevie Nesbitt picks up the kill. It's a different match than I think we expected tactically, but been a really good volleyball match as both teams maybe doing some things we're not used to seeing them do. For Mississippi College, it's been the block, and I think the defense for Montevallo has been very good.
For sure, and I think that, you know, I think both teams have kind of equated themselves out a little bit and balanced each other out with serving. I feel like Montevallo, for the most part, has really handled the serving from Mississippi College, but the blocking has been the most impressive thing for me.
Mississippi College will be called for going under the net right there. It looked like the blocker for the Choctaws maybe tripped underneath the net, or maybe they collided and pushed each other under the net. It looked like Nesbitt who got called for it.
Yeah, I think the two Mississippi College players ran into each other.
Unfortunate, because that would have been a big point right there.
It looks like that Coach Laurendine has made a substitution at the outside. Michaela Tuohy's in, sophomore.
Tuohy, a player that played for you at Thompson High School and has a lot of teammates here watching, you know, hoping that she would make it into this contest.
Well, she did, and, you know, of course, I'm hoping and praying she's going to do well, and they're going to pick on her, that's for sure, but, she, you know, she has the ability to score. It's just a matter of, you know, can she stay in the rallies long enough?
Set to the middle right there. That was Nesbitt who slammed that one to the court. We'll bring in Brandy Bundy back to serve. Bundy, the senior from Covington, Louisiana. Been on the Gulf South Conference academic honor roll the last 2 years. Montevallo picking up the point. And we're all tied up at 3 here in the fourth set.
I got to tell you a funny story about Coach Laurendine when she played at Montevallo. She was notorious for chewing gum and throwing gum under the bleachers in the gym at Montevallo. But the gum would only last on one swing in a match in game one, and then that gum was out of there if she didn't get her first kill. And at the end of one season, I made her take a scraper and go under the bleachers and scrape up the gum. I said, you know, I said, Shauna, all that belongs to you. She goes, I didn't do that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I was watching the same television station you were.
That's great. You promised me you'd bring out some of the good stories, but we were trying not to get you in trouble, so hopefully that one doesn't get you in trouble.
No, she knows it's true.
I'm sure it's neat for you as a now former coach to see some of the players that played for you coaching. I'm sure she's not the only one that's currently coaching.
No, she's not. And, you know, they've coached at all different levels. And, you know, it makes me proud that they wanted to go into coaching and, you know, become a mentor for young people and, you know, make kids better and want to share their passion for the game. And because certainly they all had passion for the game.
And I know you worked at the University of Alabama, and a lot of people talk about another coach at Alabama, Nick Saban, and the coaching tree that he kind of has, all these coaches all over the country and players in the NFL and then coaching. And I would dare say as a coach, probably the biggest marker of your success is what your players go on to do both in life and playing after their days of playing for you are done.
For sure. And, you know, one of the things that I really – you know, I get to see that, I think, even a little bit more at the high school level, you know, after they go on and they go to college, whether they play or they don't, you know, and they become, you know, pharmacists and doctors and geneticists and, you know, just, you know, they're smarter than I am. And it's been really fun to see them grow and become these wonderfully successful women and, you know, who are just going to do great things in the world.
I got a chance to talk to Abby Brooks's mom. She's the outside hitter for Alabama Huntsville right after that last game, and she was talking about her daughter in the classroom, and I looked at her and I said, well, I'm a business major, and I hang out around sports, so I clearly have no leg to stand on when it comes to academics. Leonard now setting up Kendall Platt in a block for Montevallo. Montevallo leading this one 8-5 right here, and if you're Mississippi College, you don't want to let this lead balloon too far here in a decisive fourth set.
That's true, and I feel like that, you know, right now Mississippi College's outside hitters are really struggling to terminate the ball. That was a really nice shot, a little push shot off the block.
And that was definitely something we expected coming into this match is would they have the skill set necessary to terminate the ball against a talented Montevallo team?
For sure, and I don't, you know, looking at the stat sheet and the course of the year, you know, the outsides just had not been able to carry the load, you know, for Mississippi College, where for sure the two outside hitters from Montevallo have certainly carried their offensive load.
Well, and we've talked about, you know, in leading up to this week, it's when you have those big outside hitters and, you know, Montevallo blessed with not one but two, it's in games like this that maybe you're not playing your best, but you have the star power to get past a very talented team in Mississippi College.
Yeah, I learned a really good lesson one year when we were playing down at the University of Texas in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and we were playing Stephen F. Austin. And we were not passing well in serve receive at Alabama, and my outside hitter in that 5-set match took 71 swings. And you know, I was so concerned that our middles were not, you know, able to be involved. And then one of my assistants said, Judy, if she has to take 71 swings today and 71 tomorrow, then we got to do what we have to do. So I learned that, you know, sometimes you just got to go with what's working.
Well, and you look at a player like Amanda Nugent right now. She's now taken 47 swings, and she's up to 9 kills. It's been a long day to get to that. She's hitting well below her average, but even on a day like that where she's not playing well, you have a player like Allie Dishman who steps up and is leading this team with 12 kills.
That's what a true team is about. You know, you're going to have days where you're going to struggle and it's going to be hard, and you got to have somebody pick up the slack for you just a little bit.
Well, and Coach O'Brien in our conversation earlier this week alluded to that of, you know, I believe it was Evelina Turan who kind of learned in a game earlier this season that, hey, she didn't have to be perfect. She could, you know, rely on her teammates, and it's that type of thing that not only makes her better, but also her team better.
Yes, and I remember Coach O'Brien making that comment, and she said it was one of those light bulb moments for Tehran.
Isabella Fuel not able to handle that pass. 11-9 now. Some great volleyball here, and Mississippi College working back into this one.
Great serve. Ooh, that looked like that ball was in to me.
It was definitely close over there. That was more of a, I think, a self-preservation play by the line judge.
Oh, that ball was so in.
Sometimes you'll see that official in the chair overrule on a play where she got her back turned. I think she made the assumption that because she got hit by the ball, it had to have been out.
Well, she's not supposed to move. She's supposed to let the ball hit her.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes, you're supposed to stand your ground. The only thing you move for is a player that's actually running at you.
Judy, you told me that you do that line judging role at some Division I, and those girls hit hard. I'm not sure I would hang in there.
They do, and, you know, like I said, that ball's traveling so fast, and that's unfortunate for Mississippi College because that was an ace.
I guess the one thing you've got going is that ball, it'll hurt when it hits you, but it's not as hard as a baseball or a softball.
Correct. You know, and if you're standing with your feet on the corner and it hits you in your shoestrings, the ball's out of bounds. So you know. And if it's in front of you, you know it's in.
It only would make sense. Lauren Dean setting up Tui, and she'll pick up the kill. Her teammates loving that, and it's always fun. And, Coach, I see you throwing your hands up a little bit up here. It's okay to do that every once in a while, right?
I think there's a smile under my mask somewhere.
Nothing wrong with that. She picks up the kill and then subs out as Brandy Bundy comes in on the back row. 13-11 now in favor. And another point. Mississippi College leading here in set number 4.
Yeah, Mississippi College is, again, they're serving the ball really well to Tehran and really making her have to touch the ball.
In the set that they won, we definitely saw them start to really pepper that back line and trying to take Montevallo out of their game plan.
You know, I think one of the things that Coach O'Brien said yesterday, I made a note of it from our conversation. You know, one of her 3 keys was that, you know, we need to make the second contact better if we're out of system. And right now they're struggling a little bit with that. They were very good at that in set 3.
And give a lot of credit to Casey Hendrickson. She was a big part of that second contact, especially when they were out of system. Lauren Dean setting up her teammate on the outside. That was a big swing by Platt. Here's another opportunity. Quick to the middle. Kept alive and somehow gets over the net. Outside again, Platt swinging hard yet again. Mississippi College not going to go down not swinging. Great rally right here. Still alive. Off the hands of Bundy as Lauren Dean tried to chase it down. What a rally right there, and it ties us up at 14 here in the 4th.
This would be a good time for somebody to wipe up a little sweat on the court and break the momentum.
Advocating for some gamesmanship. I love it. Big swing in the middle by Nesbitt. These two teams trading body shots right now here in the 4th.
There's a lot of toughness by both teams at the moment.
Who has enough to get to the finish line? Mississippi College needing this set. Tehran and that one past the end line. She was a bit surprised.
Yeah, the linesperson was a little slow there to make that call.
It looked like Bundy may have gotten the best view of that one. Served by Davis. Martin gets lucky right there on that rollover.
They have really isolated that one spot from their right side hitters. They've tipped it short over the block, and just seems to be some confusion between the libero and the right front defender on who's going to take it.
A good coach notices those types of things, and Katie O'Brien certainly exploiting as many holes in the defense as she can find. Big swing there by Richards. Tehran gets it to land off the tape.
Well, Coach O'Brien said that they needed to stick with their game plan. And regardless if they, they drop a set or something, they've got to stick with it because they really believe that that can happen.
Turan, another kill. I'll go back to that previous play, too. What you saw there on that replay was it was a great setup by Hendrickson when she came up and set up Turan right there and gave her the opportunity to pick up a big kill.
She did, and, again, we see the soft tip over the top of the block, and I guess they must have noticed something on film that Mississippi College just was not very good at adapting to the short tips.
17-16 currently. Montevallo leading this one 2-1. It's 17-16 in favor of Montevallo in this ball game. Been quite the match of volleyball right here. The two teams very close in that first set, a third set that Montevallo took late, and then a back-and-forth battle ensuing here in the fourth set.
Well, I think it's everything we thought it could and would be. I still wouldn't be surprised to see us go to a set 5.
Oh, you said it.
Oh, did I?
You said it right there, but honestly, I was thinking it, so I'm glad you said it and not me. I don't have any plans after. I know you do, but ultimately, I'm so involved in this volleyball game now, I kind of want to see a fifth set.
Well, honestly, me too, and I've got 52 little girls waiting on me down in Alabaster to do a little volleyball, so hopefully my staff will cover it and do a great job, and so we get to see an exciting finish to a really good semifinal match here.
Well, I'm sure your staff, if they work under you, are probably definitely able to handle it. We'll see what happens here. 17-16 in favor of Montevallo. Platt rolled one over. And a big swing in the middle by Hoffman as Montevallo takes a 2-point advantage. And Judy, we're starting to see Mississippi College maybe not swinging as hard yet again.
True, again, but both teams are hitting for a really high percentage in this set. Montevallo's hitting .455 in this set. We haven't seen anywhere close to that number, and Mississippi College is hitting .296. So the offense seems to be getting better. So does that tell you that maybe the defense is getting a little bit more tired?
I think that's definitely something you could say. I mean, how when you have these really lengthy rallies, can you not be getting tired? And maybe some tired legs right there for Leonard as she puts that one into the net.
Kind of looked like it a little bit. Kind of a slow toss on her serve and a slow swing.
It looked like she was really trying to exploit that area right in front of the libero, though, trying to make her work hard. And just not enough on it. Leonard, that set didn't hit the mark. Amanda Nugent, she's had a tough go of it today, but picks up a kill right there. That's her 11th.
I think Mississippi College is going to have to really just dedicate somebody to take those short tips right behind the block.
Leonard setting up Platt. Big swing dug out by Turan. Turan from the back row. It'll find the hardwood.
Outstanding swing.
And you see the emotion coming out of the senior.
Outstanding swing.
That's a big-time play from a big-time player. And Montevallo leading by 4, trying to punch their ticket to tomorrow's final. The block by Nugent, and it's the 2 pins for Montevallo right now that are really stepping up here late.
That was an impressive play on defense, and then a back row swing out of the middle of the court, which we call the pipe of the court, from Turan.
I'm learning all sorts of new terminology here today. 22-17, timeout on the floor here in the fourth set. We're going to take a quick breather as we get set to finish off a very exciting fourth set.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at Montevallo.com to learn more.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
(22-17). Leonard setting it up, and yet again it's the block. Morgan Hoffman and Montevallo. Judy, looks like they're going to try to put this one away.
I think they're starting to feel it right now, Noah. I think they've got all the momentum, and all they need is 2 points to seal the deal to a Gulf South Conference championship match.
They're trying to ask someone out on a date tomorrow. That's someone, Alabama Huntsville.
I noticed that Alabama Huntsville has hung in here and stayed and watched the entire match. I mean, they haven't seen Montevallo play either.
Nugent, and she puts Montevallo at set and match point. A date in tomorrow's final on the line. As if any more fitting, Evelina Turan will be back to serve. Nearly an ace. Lauren Dean's swing dug out by Hendrickson. Here's Nugent for the win. And Montevallo will play for a championship tomorrow.
Fantastic finish for the Falcons. And once they got past 17, they were on fire. They were on fire.
A phenomenal volleyball match all the way around. Mississippi College giving Montevallo their best shot. But it was the two big hitters, and you see the emotion from those two right there in their senior year. Amanda Nugent, who had a tough day picking up that final kill. Evelina Turan, who also played extremely well in this contest.
They did, but the two players that impressed me the most were the two middles, Dishman and Hoffman. They really, when Montevallo needed something, it always seemed to be Dishman and Hoffman that gave them something that they needed.
Those two combining for 22 kills in this match and really playing a big role. We came in expecting to see big plays out of the two pin hitters, but it was the middles who played extremely well in this contest. We're awaiting Katie O'Brien. She's going to make her way over here in a minute to have a quick conversation with Judy and I. Montevallo winning this one. They improved to 12-0 on the season, and they set up a date with Alabama Huntsville in tomorrow's final. We're going to throw it to commercial, and we'll be back with an interview with head coach Katie O'Brien.
We are Mississippi's oldest university and the first co-educational university in the country to grant a degree to women. We offer more than 80 undergraduate fields of study and 50 graduate concentrations. Our adult and online programs provide the flexibility to take courses on your schedule. We are your first step towards a brighter future. We are Mississippi College.
The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more. The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more. The University of Montevallo has 21 NCAA Division II teams, so you can always find your favorite sports being played on campus. Whether you're an athlete or a super fan, you'll have countless opportunities to wear the purple and gold as a Falcon. Visit YouBelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor.
53 national championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. the Gulf South Conference.
In Birmingham, cultural roots run deep and strong. In Birmingham, we honor our singular history and embrace the vigor of progress. We are the dinner table of the South, where gathering is as important as culinary art. In Birmingham, we are big city dazzle with deep South charm. Come find your kind of getaway in Birmingham.
Joined now by head coach Katie O'Brien after her team's victory. Coach, you guys didn't hit your best early on in this game, but you came through when it mattered today.
Most definitely. The first two sets were a little rough, but we found our groove and we got going.
Coach, it was the play of your two big hitters, though, Evelina Turan and Amanda Nugent, who had to work very hard today in today's contest, but ultimately those two coming away and securing a victory and a date in tomorrow's final against Alabama Huntsville.
Yes, they stepped up, but I have to say our underclassmen did an awesome job in their first situation being here and, you know, under the stress and pressure, and everyone as a whole team performed very well.
Well, Katie, congratulations. How fun is that for you and your team to be in the Gulf South Conference Championship tomorrow?
It was a workout. Even as a coach, Mississippi College played very well and definitely challenged us, and I just think we are taking it day by day, but as you could tell at the end, my team's very excited. They've worked hard, and we've had a little luck, but we're ready to play tomorrow.
Well, I will tell you the thing that impressed me the most in the match today was the play, especially offensively, from your two middles. They both hit over 50% for the match, and I felt like that when you guys needed something, they were always there to give you something today.
Definitely. They were quiet in the first set. We just didn't give them enough balls, and if serve receive had been stronger, they probably would have gotten a couple more swings, but I, too, felt like they took care of their opportunities and did an awesome job.
Coach, again, congratulations on the victory. Looking forward to watching you guys in tomorrow's final against Alabama Huntsville. Now go celebrate with your team.
Okay, thank you. Go Falcons.
Montevallo improving to 12-0 this season with the victory over Mississippi College. They dropped to 7-1, and it sets up a date with Alabama Huntsville tomorrow at 1 p.m. here in the Finley Center. For Judy Green and myself, we say so long. We'll see you tomorrow for a final.
'53 National Championships. More than 600 annual graduates. Thousands of lives changed. The Gulf South Conference.